Hey! It's Devi here. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to share more about Project Rahu and what we're working on.
You know, in the huge, sprawling world of mythology, some figures just captivate you. They're these symbols of incredible beauty and art, but they're also something more. They're agents of cosmic politics, even weapons. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating figures of all, the Apsara.
So their most famous origin story is absolutely epic. I mean, they weren't born in the way you and I think about it. They just emerged, fully formed, totally radiant, straight from the churning of the primordial ocean of milk. This was a huge cosmic event where gods and demons were fighting for the nectar of immortality, and out of that chaos came them, pure beauty.
And this gets us right to the heart of the Apsara mystery. We think of them as these graceful, heavenly performers, right? But what if that was just part of the story? Were they simply artists entertaining the gods, or was their art also a kind of cover for cosmic espionage? That's the big question.
To really get a handle on this dual nature, we've got to understand who they are. And like with so many things in mythology, the secret is hiding in plain sight, right in their name.
Yeah, the word itself tells you so much. Ape means water, the source of life, and Sra means to move or to flow. So an Apsara is literally one who moves upon the waters. Her whole essence is about fluidity, grace, and this powerful, untamable energy of the ocean she came from.
So when they first appeared, it created this really awkward cosmic situation. Both the gods and the demons were just stunned by them. I mean, so mesmerized that neither side dared to say, "She's mine." They were just too beautiful, too powerful to belong to any single faction.
And because of that, they were given this special status, Sadharani. It basically means they belong to everyone, which in turn means they belong to no one. This gave them this incredible independence. They weren't anybody's wife or subject. They were universal artists. You could almost call them cosmic freelancers, bound only by their art.
Okay, so this independence is really the key. It sets the stage for their completely fascinating and often contradictory existence. Let's break down the two very different lives they led.
In heaven, in the court of Indra, the king of the gods, they're the celebrities. They're the entertainers, the dancers, the musicians. They're symbols of joy and beauty. But when they get a mission on Earth, the role changes completely. Down here, their art becomes a weapon. They become political agents, sent to break the concentration of powerful mortals. They're basically weapons of mass distraction.
See, Indra was always looking over his shoulder. He was constantly worried about mortals, sages, kings, who through extreme discipline could build up enough power to actually challenge the gods. So when a sage got too powerful, Indra didn't send an army. No, he sent an Apsara. Her mission was simple: use her charm, her beauty, to break the sage's focus, neutralize the threat, and keep the cosmic balance of power in Indra's favor.
And this wasn't just some abstract idea. This was standard operating procedure for the heavens. And these missions have become some of the most important and foundational myths out there. So let's look at 3 of the most legendary ones.
All right, first up, the mission of Manaka. The great sage Vishwamitra was getting seriously powerful, like god-level powerful. Indra gets nervous and sends Manaka, and it works. Vishwamitra is so captivated, he completely abandons his life's work for 10 years to be with her. But here's the kicker. This political mission had a world-changing outcome. They had a daughter, Shakuntala, and her son, Bharata, became such a famous emperor that the nation of India is still called Bharat in his honor. Think about that. An Apsara's mission literally shaped a nation's identity.
So if Manaka was a deployed agent, our next Apsara, Tilottama, was something else entirely. She was literally built for a single deadly mission. She's less of a dancer and more of a divinely engineered weapon of perfect beauty.
Her targets, 2 demon brothers, Sunda and Upasunda. They had this boon that made them invincible. No one in the universe could kill them, except for each other. So the creator god Brahma found the loophole. He crafted Tilottama by taking a tiny particle of beauty from every single thing in creation and putting it all together into one being. The result was perfection. When she walked in front of the brothers, they went crazy with lust and immediately started fighting over her and ended up killing each other. Problem solved.
But these missions, they came with huge risks. The Apsaras weren't always safe, and the story of Ramba is a really powerful and tragic reminder of the dangers they were up against.
Ramba was assaulted by the demon king of Lanka, the infamous Ravana. It was a brutal violation, and when her beloved found out, he laid this incredibly powerful curse on Ravana, saying that from that day on, if Ravana ever forced himself on a woman against her will, his head would instantly shatter into 1,000 pieces. And that curse creates this huge cosmic ripple effect. Fast forward years later, when Ravana kidnaps Sita in the epic Ramayana. What protects Sita during her long captivity in Lanka? It's that very curse. A curse born from Ramba's tragic story became the divine shield that protected a future queen.
These stories were so important, they didn't just stay in books. They were literally carved into the foundations of temples and caves all across Asia. The image of the Apsara went far, far beyond the page.
I mean, you can see their legacy immortalized in stone. From the incredible sculptures of the Khajuraho temples to the beautiful murals in the Ajanta caves in India, their image is all over Asia. There are thousands of them carved into the walls of the magnificent Angkor Wat in Cambodia and all over the sacred sites of Borobudur in Indonesia. They are truly everywhere.
And what's really fascinating is that this idea of a beautiful, supernatural female being, well, it isn't unique to this part of the world. You see echoes of it in so many cultures. The ancient Greeks had their nymphs, these nature spirits. In Japan, you have the Tenyo, heavenly beings you often see in Buddhist art. It really feels like this is a universal archetype, this impulse to imagine these divine, powerful female figures.
So what do we make of all this today? How do we look back on these incredibly complex figures who were, at the same time, celebrated artists and manipulated agents? This brings us to how we see the Apsara now. Today, especially through a feminist lens, people are really re-examining their stories. And the big question is, pawn or player? Were they just beautiful objects, pawns used by powerful gods like Indra for their own political games? Or should we see them as figures with real agency? As women who, in a cosmos run by men, use the only tools they had, their art, their beauty, their wit, to actually influence history. When you think about it, they're one of the rarest archetypes in ancient texts, a powerful, independent, unmarried professional woman.
Which leaves us with one last big question. When we look at the Apsara, what are we really seeing? Is she a timeless symbol of beauty and divine art? Or is her story something more complex, a kind of cautionary tale about how beauty can be weaponized and the incredible, sometimes dangerous, power it holds?